Welcome back. Well, the 52nd Academy Awards are going to premiere on Sunday, February 9th, and our very own Matt Perrin is reviewing every Best Picture nominee.
Today's film sees acting legends come together in the mob epic, The Irishman.
Well, for the past few weeks, I've been hinting that award season is upon us, and now we've hit crunch time. I'm sorry to leave you hanging without a review yesterday, but that's because we have 9 in a row coming up here, and I'm sure you'll get sick of me. That's right, we have 9 show days before the Academy Awards air right here on ABC Columbia next Sunday, so every day until next Friday, I'm going to review one of the 9 Best Picture nominees. That's right, I know it's hard to see all of them, but I've done it, and I'm here to recap them for you leading up to awards night. So let's kick this whole roller coaster off. I'm not sure if our first Best Picture nominee is the best, but it's definitely the longest. So here's my take on Martin Scorsese's mob/teamster epic, The Irishman. Our film begins with Frank the Irishman Sheeran, portrayed by Robert De Niro, looking back on his life. We see him starting out as a meat delivery driver, but after striking a side deal requiring some of the meat to disappear, he risks being fired. He is successfully defended by a union attorney who then introduces him to his mob cousin Russell Buffalino, portrayed by Joe Pesci. Soon, Frank is working for him, starting with small jobs, but eventually graduating to anything Russell needs, including making people disappear. With all of his loyalty, Frank seems like the right man to be sent to help famous Teamster President Jimmy Hoffa, portrayed by Al Pacino. Hoffa has some problems he needs dealt with, and after reaching out to Russell, Frank gets sent to help smooth out several situations. Before long, Frank has literally become the right-hand man to Jimmy Hoffa, who has shown his appreciation by even making Frank the president of one of the labor unions. But with Kennedy coming into office, he and his brother have started a personal vendetta to shut down Hoffa. As the movie progresses, we see Hoffa fall from power after a jail stint, but trying to get it back upon his release. Of course, in doing so, he starts to step on a few mafia toes, and Frank is tasked with keeping everything in balance. But when you're torn between loyalty, some tasks don't come easy, and you always have to be looking over your own shoulder as well. So, what to say about this one? First off, as I mentioned earlier, this is a long movie. You have to set aside 3.5 hours to take this one in. That being said, there is never a time in the movie where you find yourself getting bored. The cast and direction is of course outstanding, but would you expect any different from this all-star group? There is plenty of talk about the de-aging in this movie, and although far from perfect, it is rather subtle, so it doesn't really pull you out of it at all, even though some kid on YouTube did it a little bit better. All in all, it's a very good adaptation of a book written about the confession of Frank Sheeran. Even though there are conflicting accounts of what actually happened, this version makes for a good story, although it may raise as many questions as it answers. As far as the award goes this year, I think anything is a possibility. In the past couple of years, the Netflix movies have started to get more recognition without taking home the big award, but if there was going to be one to break the mold, I would think a Scorsese film wouldn't be a bad bet. I just think if it has a chance, it's because of the names attached to it. But this year, I'm ruling nothing out. All right, the first nominee is in the can. Come back tomorrow for a movie by another well-known director that has been getting one of its actors some statues already. This has been the Oscars Overview. Back to you.
Thank you, Matt. Coming up, Tyler has the last look at the forecast.
ABC Columbia's News at Noon continues in just a few moments.